When I was growing up, I was often told to go to my room anytime I was too loud or heard over anybody else. And I took that internally. It was never said to me, but I took that as, you're a bad girl. Okay, I've got to do better. I've got to be more pleasing. I remember one time my grandma was visiting, and when I was sent to my room, she elaborated and said, you know, your mouth is loud like your mom's was. She was always heard over everybody. So, so I was in my room a lot, trying to figure out how to be a good girl. I think with the mask of perfection and being a good girl, I would be whatever it took to be accepted, not rejected by other peers or boyfriends or parents. Like, I had a different face for every occasion so that I wouldn't be rejected, that I wouldn't be labeled bad or rejectable. I knew if I was pleasing to those around me, I wouldn't be rejected and sent to my room or sent away like I was as a little girl. Through growing up, and it evolved a little bit and became almost where I'd lost who I really was. It gets confusing when you're so many different people. So coming out of that has been quite a process. Over time, it just wears on you. And at one point I was in the hospital they couldn't find anything wrong, but it was the stress of striving. Going into high school and then college and after, I had lost who I was originally, and I was constantly searching for what would fill the emptiness. To look perfect on the outside, dieting, severe exercise, the love of other people, relationships, but nothing ever filled that. I had gotten so far, I had so many masks, I didn't even know the original, like my original design. I was loved well by my family and my husband. He loved well. He loves well. My focus was always loving. And I think keeping people well loved kept me from being rejected. But I couldn't receive love. I didn't know how to receive love. I think the beginning of that undoing was when I had my babies, and I kind of had a glimpse of the way the Father loved me. And being at home with them, all masks were off. And I came face to face with all the years of facades and had to really come to terms with who I am as their mother, and loving them well, but them loving me too, because that got to me more than anything else. Having them love me unconditionally, no matter what. I met a friend at our homeschool group. She had just moved here, and we were going to Bible study one night, and on the way home, she said, "I'd like to pray for you." And I was like, okay, that's cool. And she started praying about how timid I was, and that whatever had been done to me in my childhood would be broken. She did not know my past. She didn't know all that I did to protect and to keep up a facade. It's like the Lord sent her to say, I see you. I accept you. I want more for you. I want all this gone so that you can be who I created you to be. She prayed freedom over me that night, and it was the beginning of just a breaking, a thawing, not a chipping anymore, but just a crack open. Everything felt vulnerable and bright and loud, but it was good. Part of my undoing was him saying, I want to take you back. To when you cried out to me when you were 5. Loving Jesus was always easy for me. It was the receiving that love. Knowing that he didn't think I was a bad girl. Since that day that she prayed for me, it opened up a gradual hunger for him and his word. And in that process, I've found out more about me and who he says I am. So I've been able to replace the reel of negative self-talk with what he says. It's been a long process, and I still have a long way to go. Life is just better with him. It's sweeter, and he's so kind and loving and so worth anything I had to go through to get to him.